Guys, it's time for some tough love. Time for a hard conversation. I can't hear out of this ear. That's not the hard conversation, but just like if I think I sound weird in my head, so I'm a little off. I was online the other day, as I often am, and I saw a podcast clip of these guys saying, you know what? I'll say it. Ludwig Goransson might be the composer GOAT, might be the film composer GOAT, the best, better than John Williams. Maybe it's a close one, better than Hans Zimmer, but for sure he's top 3. Now this is a very interesting conversation. Very interesting. I personally am under the camp of, if we're talking GOAT composers, there are 2 people you can put in that conversation: John Williams and Hans Zimmer. John Williams is my undisputed GOAT because he has transcended culture. His music is the most popular film music of all time. It will always be the most popular film music. Everyone knows this music. He has made some of the most, across all mediums, all genres of music, he has made some of the most iconic and memorable music of all time. They said in this clip that John Williams makes he just makes themes and stuff like that. He just makes themes. He doesn't score the whole films. You don't sit down and listen to a whole John Williams score. First of all, yes, you absolutely do. If you're gonna point to a film like, oh, well, he did episode 9 and name some themes from episode 9. First of all, it's like all these composers have lackluster scores. It's just a product of, just the output of their work, and sometimes they don't always get the best movies. Let's be honest. I would happily sit down and listen to the whole entire score all the way through for an Indiana Jones, for a Jurassic Park, for a Harry Potter, without a question. Star Wars, good lord, dude. In that first film, episode 4, the amount of bangers, instant slappers that he makes in that, fantastic. But we're getting off topic. We're talking about Ludwig. Here's my stance with Ludwig. I am a huge Ludwig fan. I like to walk around and say I was a Ludwig fan before anyone else was a Ludwig fan. Maybe not anyone else, he has parents, but before, everyone else was jumping online saying oh, hey, did you guys know this Ludwig guy? He makes pretty good music and he's friends with Childish Gambino. Get a load of that. I really first became a fan of this guy's music back in the day of Creed. Love this score so much. From then, I went on to listen to a few more of his soundtracks and stuff like that. Black Panther, phenomenal score. In addition, I was a fan of his work in not only Community, but his work with Childish Gambino. I think he's really talented there. I think he's fantastic. I think in terms of modern day composers, people who are working right now, but making their big impact right now, he is the best one working, the best composer working by far right now. But in my opinion, like I said, he'll never touch John Williams, and he could touch, no diddy. He could touch Hans Zimmer, but it's gonna be a long time, dude. It's gonna be a really long time. Hans Zimmer, just the output of music, holy crap, dude, don't get me wrong. Yeah, we can look at the average Ludwig score and pick out 4 or 5 tracks that are really good, are really memorable. Hans, dude, you can do that for 30 movies. It's insane. Right now, just on a pure numbers game alone, there's no situation to me where Ludwig Göransson is the number 3 composer. Like I said, John Williams, he'll always be the GOAT for me. If Ludwig doesn't slow down in the next 30 years, there's a chance, dude. He could beat Hans. He could get to number 2. So then the question becomes, is he number 3? It sounds like he's number 3. I don't think so. Not for me right now. And again, I don't want this to come across Ludwig's bad. I love the guy. I think he's so talented. I go and I'm oh, he's making the score. I'm in, dude. I'm hype. He's a popular name, a name that people know, especially if I was to ask a normal person, name as many film composers as you can. Danny Elfman, his name not come up. Alan Silvestri, Michael Giacchino, their names not come up. Again, I understand because these guys especially were working, a lot of their big hits were coming out, a little bit in the past, and Ludwig is the present. So I understand the recency bias, but I think if you're looking at all of film, sure, they might not be as popular names like a John Powell, something like that, a Thomas Newman. I think those guys are, I don't want to say better because it's just first of all, it's all subjective. So it's what's better. But one thing I'm really grateful for Ludwig is I think he's bringing a lot of attention to scores, especially scores that are really important. The guy from Studio Ghibli, I don't want to mispronounce his name, Joe, my boy Joe, I don't want to mispronounce his last name. phenomenal. I gotta stop this video early. I'm like, I can't speak. I'm like, ugh. Point being, put some respect on some of the old guys' heads, you know? Never sleep on an old guy, on an old head. Ludwig is obviously amazing. Obviously, I think that the scores that he makes are really important for the films. Especially you look at a film like Sinners, the music being that important. Of course, people are going to, gravitate to that because the score is so important. There are some films you might not think about the scores as being like, one of the best parts of the film. But if you rewatch these films, if you watch film and just pay attention to scores in general, I think that it opens up a whole new world of music. And to that, I'm really grateful for Ludwig for making people appreciate film composition more. Again, if he's your number one, your number two, that's completely fine, in my opinion. He's top 10 for sure, for sure. Anyways, that's the video. Thanks so much for watching. I'm gonna go lay down. I don't feel great. Talk to you later. Hit subscribe. Bye-bye.